and you get chips on the side. Get chips pie, pea pies and chips. That's good. I like good pub food.
Can you stop talking about food? I'm hungry.
I've just
So
ate.
am
That's why
I.
they're talking about food. They were annoyed because I was sitting, sucking my fingers with all the grease and stuff all over it.
And
I
we
think
are
so.
live.
French.
Welcome everyone to Soul Sundays with the lovely OlySounds.
Hello, hello. Today we're gonna do some meditation. Let's go over to our little gazebo
Let's see.
area on Prism Island. You
I
guys
have to
can
go over
sit
to
down.
here.
I think I hear myself.
So yo, what's crisps?
All right. You guys can hear the
Crisps
guitar, correct?
Or Walker's crisps.
Let's go. Prism Island.
Prism Island,
Crisps are
everyone.
Woohoo, woohoo.
No, I mean potatoes.
Yo, so how come when they say fish and chips, it's actually like French fries?
Load this pillar.
And yo, how come they call
Maybe
it French
French
fries? Like, why is it called French?
Because
I don't know. That's a
I don't
really good
know.
question.
maybe they started out by cooking French people, just chopping them up in.
Oh dear.
I don't
It's
know.
because the French sticks. Some are a bit crinkly.
Why is it called French
The-
toast?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Because
Oh
it's
my
got
God.
egg on it. That's why.
Really?
Yeah, but why?
I like
it has
French
egg on it?
toast.
Why does that make it French?
Oh, jeez.
We have eggs. We have eggs. We're not French. What's the deal? Is this made from
Chickens have
French
eggs.
chickens? Just French chickens, I guess.
I'll have to
Let's
ask.
go to the little gazebo. I'm gonna start my stream too.
Yeah, we're getting out of control here.
No, go ahead. You
Is
guys.
this the, is this the updated one?
French food.
No, you go.
Yo, I've not seen anything. Am I supposed to? Don't.
Load the
You're
pillar,
supposed
Oh.
to.
Oh my god.
and it should be faster loading because I fixed
Hi,
some
Froggy.
stuff.
I love these.
They're on Unity. It's a really cheap frog pack.
Okay.
Hi there, frog. Glow in the day, frogs.
Dude, did you ever play that game Frogger?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I love that game. You know, it came out on
Frogger?
PlayStation 1 as well.
I love Frogger.
Yeah, Frogger
God,
is
I haven't
great.
played that in a long time.
And then they made a sequel on the PlayStation 2, which was just crazy. Frogger's Quest.
Really?
Yeah. I played it as a kid. It was
Frogger
so
Quest.
weird.
Frogger was hard enough by itself.
All right, we're here in Incrediworlds for Soul Sunday. We're gonna do a discussion and try to get some feedback from all of you guys here, and then we'll do a short guided meditation. And if you guys would like to participate in the music, you are able to do that too. Today is a special day. I want all of us to kind of play a part in this meditation. So not really a guided meditation, but a group meditation, if that makes sense. So today I've been just coming back to the same thing this week about just self-confidence and self-view, like self-opinion, self-esteem, I guess is the right word, and how it plays into manifestation and reaching your goals and your environment. So I just want to ask you guys first, before I get into what I feel like I've learned this week, what you guys think about self-esteem and self-confidence. what is a definition to you, and also maybe some personal experiences where it's helped you or lack of self-esteem has hindered you, and what you think it means in relation to reaching your goals. Let's start with Woofer.
Uh-oh. Okay. Well, I think of self-esteem as sort of your confidence in yourself and your belief in yourself. I think too little self-esteem is bad because you'll never do anything. Don't have any confidence to do anything. And too much self-esteem is probably bad too because you'll think you can do anything and you can do it better than everybody else, and you won't really because you're just thinking that. You think so highly of yourself that you think you're great at everything, you know. So that's what I think self-esteem is. It's just the way you believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, it gives you confidence enough to create and do things you want in life. And too little, and you're afraid to do anything at all. You just don't do anything. I think that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, that's spot on. I like what you said about being afraid of doing anything, because I feel like one of my own affirmations that I do a lot, and these are things that I think subconsciously maybe I don't believe about myself, so that's why they're so beneficial to me. I tell myself these 3 things. I'm like, every morning I wake up, I'm like, you're brave, you're smart, and you're kind. And of course, like, consciously I believe these things about myself and I try to act this way, and these are like my core life principles, I guess, how I try to operate in the world. But I don't always feel brave. I don't always feel smart. And I don't always necessarily feel kind. You know, a lot of times I feel exhausted and overextended, and I'm not even kind to myself, you know?
Yeah.
So,
but those are your goals anyway.
yeah, exactly. So I think that fear, unless you're a total sociopath, you know, that you never feel fear like that. I think confidence can also be moving in spite of fear, you know, and learning to embrace your fear. Like we talked about last time, like embracing the shadow and stuff. Like fear's definitely, like I'm always scared. And I've learned, like, the more scared I am, the better the reward will be for a goal that I reach, you know? Like, the more scared I am of achieving it, or the more difficult it is. And then it raises my fear threshold and makes me more brave and confident.
Well, why are you scared?
I don't know. Probably genetics.
Oh, don't be
Past
scared.
experience. Ultra, what do you think about self-confidence and how it relates to your goals and yourself?
I think a couple of things. I think we were talking about like self-esteem, and it just made me think of the word and like the breakdown of the word. It sounds like self-estimation. So I think self-esteem is like you estimate your own self-worth to what you believe you can be and what you want to be, like your ideal self. And when you find yourself not reaching that like full potential of what you believe you can be, then you have low self-esteem. And I also think like there's this like, I don't know, for me at least, there's this like, when it comes to confidence, there's an element of violence in it. There's this like just knowing in a sense that I have the ability to protect myself makes me feel confident when I'm dealing with others. And like I think that comes down to just knowing what my own self-worth is, that I can if I wanted to, I could fight and I can kill someone. And just walking around having that within you, I think is important, because it's not violence itself, but it's the threat of violence that kind of keeps the cohesion of society together. And I think going like kind of like switching back to the idea of self-confidence and self-esteem, it makes me think of Nietzsche, how he spoke about in a world where God is dead, where science has convinced us, that, maybe God isn't real and we have doubts in our faith, that the only real thing you have left is to overcome. And he called that concept the overman. Like, that's how you deal with things. If you walk around without a purpose in life, you're not going to be confident because you're not going to have any value to estimate your self-worth. Having a purpose and walking around, I think also, plays a big role in your self-estimation. And one thing I really feel strongly about, and I've been thinking a lot about, is the whole point of life is to overcome. It's to overcome everything. And yeah, those are just some of my thoughts on confidence and like what came to my mind.
Do you feel like you have to be violent to protect yourself?
Yes, I feel like you have
Yeah?
to. I feel even like men, when I see someone and I look at another man in the eye, and I can tell that if I mess around with him, he'll punch me. I respect him.
Yeah.
Respect is the fear of violence. And when another man looks at me and, he shakes my hand and he looks at me in the eye, and I look at him back in the eye, and he knows that if he messes with me and mine, that, consequences will happen. That means that's respect, because in a sense he knows that if there was a situation where he needed my help, that I could help him because I can defend myself, right? So that's, yeah, I think,
So you're saying physical strength. Physical strength is confidence to you.
not
Or
necessarily
what's
physical
required to be
strength.
confident.
It's not physical
That you're
strength.
able to defend yourself
Yes, it's knowing that you
against a
can,
physical threat.
yeah, that like you are dangerous.
Okay. And what do you think the opposite of that would be?
Someone who, for
Like,
example,
what would happen if you couldn't defend yourself? If you didn't have physical strength, what do you think would happen in your life?
you would be scared. But it's not about physical strength. It's about the threat of violence. It's about it's the threat of violence. It's just being strong, and people, it's like your aura. It's the aura you give off. It's because at the end of the day, like, life is just people. That's all life really is. Without people, like, like there's this saying in Arabic where it talks about heaven. It's Jannah bidun nas ma btindas. It means heaven without people can't be stepped into. So anyway, I'm kind of going off on like a tangent here, so I'll
No, thank
sit
you.
out.
That makes sense. That definitely makes sense to me. Nikki, what do you think of self-confidence and how it helps you achieve your goals, or maybe hinders goals, or how maybe personal experience and your
I
your
think-
definition of it?
I think that I've been dealing, or I've had like a blindfold on my entire life, always trying to run around in the dark, and that was scary. Always felt like I wasn't enough, or I didn't have what it takes, and it's not certainly around the people around me that made me feel bad about myself. It was more about the fact that once you truly choose love, that's what I think confidence is, love and light, and choose the good. Once you start loving yourself, your doors open, that blindfold falls down. Love is so strong. It illuminates, it enlightens, it makes you closer to whatever there is, God or the universe. But it's a beautiful feeling, and that's confidence. Once you start to feel that that blindfold coming off, and you can embrace the world without fear, without having that fear of something happening, that worry, that doubt, all that shit that happens. You just in your head affirm, just find comfort within yourself, and that took me so long to understand that, and it's incredibly beautiful. So that's how I
Yeah.
see self-confidence.
That's awesome. I agree. I think I don't know if you guys have seen that gradient of emotional frequencies. There's a name for it, but I think love is probably at the very top. As far as like the oscillation of measurable frequency, right, or energy, and
Oh yeah.
I think if you can achieve that frequency, you can actually manipulate your environment, or at least, just in simpler terms, like we go where we fit. Like birds of a feather flock together, and you kind of move where,
Where
you
you
feel
feel
most
good.
comfortable. Yeah, where you feel love, exactly. And I think confidence is probably like just below the frequency of love on that chart, and then there's like below that there's like anger and lust, and you go like lower and lower to the lower emotions, and I think the highest on that chart is joy. But I think another thing, like there's this Bible verse that's like the greatest of these, out of all these qualities that are listed, are faith, hope, and love.
Yeah,
And
faith.
faith could be kind of seen as like confidence in a way, and faith,
Yeah,
hope, and love kind of
I
all
wanted to
come
ask
together,
you
like relate.
about faith. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about faith.
Yeah.
Tell me more about faith.
Mm-hmm. Faith. I think faith is belief. A belief you can achieve, belief that there's reason to exist, you know. It can be so many things, but I do think it's necessary for us to operate efficiently, for sure.
You said
So-
you
so
said
all-
the top scale is joy, right? I think that if you have love, joy comes naturally. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's beautiful that those scales are up there, and I feel like I'm in that spectrum, and I wish it for everyone.
Ooh, yeah, Nikki.
So
That's
Nikki is
awesome.
talking about love, and Ultralord's talking about strength and power.
I'm talking about faith as well.
Don't- faith as well, but don't they all sort of go together? Do they? Does one neutralize the other, or can they work together?
Well, I mean,
We're all
You
one.
know,
I think either it's
Can-
part of the whole
can
thing.
love
Think
give
of
you
God's
strength?
angels, the angel Michael. I mean, it's not
Yeah.
wrong to
He's
fight
a
for the
warrior.
one. Yeah, to fight for the ones you love, to have faith
Yeah.
that God will help you, to have faith that you'll wake up the next morning, that you'll draw your next breath. We're living in faith every day, and I think, yeah. Now, the more I think about it, it kind of like fills me up with this like joyous feeling of like love. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's so beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. Wilson, what do you think about confidence and self-esteem?
I think that self-esteem comes from your own self-belief. So when you believe yourself that you're confident in whatever task that you're going to be doing, like that's where you get the confidence. And when somebody doesn't have confidence, it's either, it could be, I don't know, it could come with respect from others that you are good at what you do, or it could be a fear that you're going to fail in front of others. So a lot of people are confident that they're not going to fail, and that's when they have high confidence or high self-esteem. But I think I'm speaking from a work point of view here. I don't think I'm talking from like self-confidence and human being the best human in the world. Like I'm not taking it from a love point of view or hate or as the Ultra Lord said, strength point of view. I don't believe that you have to be confident as a male. I don't have to believe that I can kill everybody around me to be confident to be in a room. I just believe that to be in that room, that everybody has a same self worth, and then everybody could be happy from that point on. So that
Yeah.
might be jumbled a little bit, but it's
Not at all.
I've not really thought about
No,
it
that
that
makes
much.
sense.
Yeah, it sounds kind of the same as my idea. I mean, self-worth. That's what self-respect is. People respect you and you respect yourself.
Yeah, respect's very difficult. Like some people can lose respect very quickly by overpowering or putting people in a position that they go into that fear. So
Mm.
if they feel fear, they don't have confidence to be in that position. So obviously everybody reverts down to either run away or fight. So
Mm.
that's the 2 points that you get.
Yeah, at least personally, I know I've never been, I consider myself a really confident person, but I've never been 100% sure that I'm not going to fail. I feel like I have the confidence that whatever I try, if I fail, it will help me learn something to do it better
Yeah.
next time.
That's
Or
Failure's a
beautiful.
part of
I'll-
life. I mean,
I
you,
have
you have
confidence
to
in
fail now and
myself
then.
to catch myself if I fall.
Yeah.
You know?
There's so many amazing like quotes out there, like in sports and different things saying, if you don't make the first step, then you're always going to fail because you've not succeeded by taking that first step in life. Or like there's so many different versions that it's crazy.
I
But
think
There's one I
success
really
everybody
like.
is
should-
It's
knowing
like
how to fail.
someone who succeeded. Yeah, the person who succeeds is the person who found 1,000 ways to not do something, right?
Yeah.
Or
Thomas
who
Edison,
figures
right?
out,
The light bulb?
the person who figures out how to do something new. Yeah,
Yeah, he failed 1,000 times, but then, that one time was all he
probably
needed.
more.
Yeah, exactly.
Pax, what do you think about self-confidence, self-esteem, and reaching your goals?
Hi, Oli. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Pax.
Hello.
I think that the best thing you can do for self-confidence and self-esteem is practice and show up every day. And, I say practice, not like it's a sport, but even life. And the more you practice, I think the more you get prepared and the more confident you'll be. And I think every day you just have to show up. And, just showing up is half the battle.
That's well
And
said,
not being
man.
scared to show up no matter what it is, school, work, things you're trying to achieve. And things really do get easier with time, the more time you put into them,
Yeah.
So I think that's a big part of it, for self-esteem and just really trying to not get too down on yourself and not think certain things and get it, because it's really easy for all of us to get just lost in our own heads and
Yeah.
play like the mind games. And if you just stay focused, you know what you have to do, you practice, and everything will be okay. So that's
Beautiful.
I know it's not easy to do that, and I, for many years and decades, have not necessarily done that. But that's what I try to think. You just keep showing up, you keep trying to do it, and good things will happen the more you practice and the more you show up. Thank you.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, I love that. I think there's something to be said for habit, because it's not always like an energy that you can just like force in your brain, confidence. Sometimes you just have to start with the action and your brain has to follow. I think our body is actually built that way, that our body is able to build habit way better than our brain. Ideally, they work symbiotically, but
Yeah,
But do you not
remind
believe that
me-
Habit
your
is
brain's
really
very good
powerful.
at coming up with excuses why you shouldn't do something?
Yeah,
Like,
you reminded me of this
Yeah.
book. There's this book called Psycho-Cybernetics, and it's kind of like this like self-improvement book. It's a really great book. It's a really great book. But you know, it starts off with the premise that if you want to change yourself, you have to start at the root. You have to actually change your own self-image, right? And it gives this really interesting example that human beings have a success mechanism, and that success mechanism, its root is your own self-image. And like they gave an example of a study where they had these psychiatric patients who would answer a questionnaire, and then they asked them to answer the questionnaire as if they were a normal human being, as if they weren't like, you know, like in a psychiatric institution. You know, most of them were depressed and stuff like that. They had like psychotic disorders, things like that, OCD stuff. When they answered the questionnaire as if they were a normal human being, as if they didn't feel the way that they felt, but they themselves, their own self-image, they saw an improvement. There's this automatic mechanism where we can just let go and it'll just work things out. So it just reminds me of that. I think like that ties into self-confidence and self-esteem. All your acts are based off your self-image. And that self-image is something that you subconsciously create, or in the book it talked about actively creating it through using imagination, sitting down and visualizing, you know, yourself. And then after a while, right, it kind of just, but the whole point is to start and to have the intent. The most important thing is the intent.
Pay attention.
Did
or
it say
set
anything
intention,
about-
pay attention.
Yeah, set intention, pay attention.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it talk about behaviors at all?
Yeah, it talked about like if you looked at how we lived, for example, if we were in the bush looking for food, we didn't consciously look for food, right? Our subconscious kind of guided us, our self-success mechanism to where food would be. So, like, you know, like you'd be in the bush and then, you know, you'd stumble upon a bunch of berries. You don't really know how you got there. You don't know why you went left or right, but you do know, but you're just not aware of it. So there's a mechanism that's evolutionarily, I wouldn't say evolutionarily, but God-given, built into us to succeed. The God spark, the self-success mechanism. Now the problem with it is that it's not just a self-success mechanism, but it can also be a self-destructive mechanism. There's a saying that you have a choice. You can feed both wolves, right? Or like the amount of energy you spend is the same. Like for example, when you think, right, your brain uses 25% of the energy that it has. No matter what, if you're thinking bad thoughts, if you're sitting watching the TV, if you're like solving a math equation, you're only spending 25% of that. So like it's your choice what you want to spend your time, like, you know, that allotment of energy that you have. But whatever it is,
That's true.
it's the same amount of energy. So like, you know,
Yeah,
whether you
I
choose
think
to
the
make
best
yourself
way-
weak or you choose to make yourself strong, the amount of effort is the same.
Yeah, that's so true. They also say, I'm trying to think of the reference, but I can never remember. I just read that it's if you're trying to break a habit. So, for example, weakness, as you just mentioned.
What is
or
weakness though?
Victimization. Well, you said you can spend energy being strong or weak, right? So if you're practicing weakness,
Yeah,
periodically,
there's this.
you can't. It's hard to break that cycle just by will alone.
I think it comes from
behavior
understanding.
Is much stronger.
You make me think of this.
So you have to start
sorry,
behaving
Yeah.
in ways that train your subconscious to be confident and strong, right? And to not be weak. So instead of breaking habits by throwing them away, it's recommended that you replace them
Yeah,
with something better, right?
yeah.
And if
because a
you're
lot of people
constantly
can change
thinking,
their habits, but
Very interesting.
they won't last unless the behavior accompanies it, according to psychological research.
Yeah, you make me think of this concept called the locus of control. Like, it's this idea that, you can either blame God, or you can blame yourself. And it's like some people live as if they don't have any control over their lives. And yeah, I think just understanding that you do have control over your life. You have the complete control over your life no matter what. The locus of control.
Yeah, I agree. You have control over how you react to what
Exactly.
happens to you.
yeah. I think if you're constantly thinking, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this, it gradually wears down your self-esteem, and then you won't be able to actually
Would you
until
think-
you work that back up until you have enough confidence to actually do it. You can't constantly say, "Well, this is impossible. I can't do it. I can't do it." It gradually wears you down.
Isn't that like a lack of faith?
Yeah, partially. Yeah,
Can
lack of
also
confidence,
be a
lack of
history of
faith.
abuse. Like if you have
Yeah.
someone from your developmental stages telling you that you're weak and you're nothing and all these
Oh, sure,
horrible
yeah.
things, it's going to be next to impossible to break those thoughts on your own. You need help. You need a community.
Yeah.
You need
Yeah.
to feed off of other people's energy. So that is also something
That's strength.
worth noting, that you need
Yeah.
other people in community for sure.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going to therapy, man. I'm telling you, it's the healthiest thing ever.
Yeah.
I love therapy.
Me
It
too.
changed my life.
And
Same here.
just remember, Oli, we were talking yesterday about like baseball players, like a all-star baseball player gets a hit 3 out of 10 times. So 7 times he's going up to bat and failing. But 3 of those times he gets a hit and he's an all-star. So it's okay to swing and miss, or, miss a shot, even if it's regularly you're missing, it's okay. That doesn't mean you're failing. You have to zoom out and stay positive. Thank you.
Wow.
But to add on the
Well
back
said,
of that,
man.
what Pax just said,
the way Pax is just
Yeah.
doing, like, thank you, every time he
Yeah.
says something.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's very proper.
to add on
Like,
the end of what Pax just said there, I think it's the team behind the All-Star as well, though.
That's true.
Like-
Surrounding yourself with good people, because we are a what is it? What's the saying of like you are
A social animal?
the people
Yeah.
that you are around, so surround yourself with good people, and that's probably one of the most important things. Select your crew accordingly.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Love that.
Over.
Such good info, everybody. Does anyone else want to share anything?
No, this is already so much. I love this. I love this. Beautiful to see.
Yeah,
this is
I love
super
you guys.
helpful.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
amazing.
I
love you guys
I love
too.
you all so much.
This is so
I got-
fun. I love getting to know you guys better, and hearing your perspectives. It's really cool.
beautiful.
It makes everything way more interesting and exciting, right?
Yeah, I think it's
Like
important.
this is better than going to a TED Talk. Because
Yeah.
I want a tech talk with 5 people talking and telling me their different perspectives. That's what I
Yeah.
want. Because everybody, you guys all have amazing, brilliant ideas, and it all
You do too,
isn't.
man.
It's incomplete without everybody's perspectives.
It really
Thank
is.
you.
It really is.
So I wanted to do a practice. You guys pretty much covered everything. And yeah, I'll just go back real fast to behaviors. I will find the reference and I'll post it in our Discord. But they were talking about how behavior accompanied with intention is how you build new habits. So that's what I'm trying to do personally every day. I try to, I've made it kind of like my life mission to find the most challenging things to do, it's might have something to do with my birth chart or something, but also just to face fears constantly. So there's always something.
To overcome. Woo, yeah.
Yes, always something to overcome it. Perfect. Mic drop. So, that said, I'm gonna try something new, and I want to do some looping with some instruments and see how that goes. I finally figured out how to connect all this stuff with Ableton. So that'd be cool. I know Carrie Abel does a lot of live looping with her performances too. So now we can start incorporating this in here. So that'd be really fun. So this is my first try, and I want you guys to join me. Pick a crystal or dance around and just honestly hit the crap out of them. Like, let's make some noise.
Yeah.
And this isn't about being pretty or, necessarily achieving a meditative state. I want you guys to just be really fierce, really confident, and maybe we'll turn our speakers down a little bit, but I'm going to be hitting some random keys, and yeah, let's make some noise and just kind of have fun. Be confident in whatever noise we create together. I also have an area in here, well, since there's people in 2D, we'll try that next time, but in the maze we have drums, so next time we'll do it with some drums, but for now we just have these crystals. But yeah, let's make some music.
Does that seem what?
Relaxing.
And you guys can sing too. If you have a mantra you want to repeat to yourself, that's okay. Let's go for 5 minutes.
This is a sacred little oasis for your meditation pleasure, but don't even think about touching my pearl. Take a picture. It'll last longer.
immersed in sound.
Oh yeah, totally like as if you're just calling off all those energies and making them all positive and good energy just flowing.
Can I ask you guys, what do you think
All
that
energy
love.
is?
Yeah.
Like, when we say energy, like, what is energy?
I think of emotion a lot. Energy and motion is what I think.
Like in motion, you say? In motion, like it's always constantly in motion?
Yeah,
So-
I guess energy is like nothing until we interact with it, right? And to me, personally at least, like I feel like when I'm interacting with good energy, I feel good. Or when I'm bringing good energy, I feel good.
Huh.
Right?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Like I go off of emotion a lot of the time.
And emotion is motion. Right? I mean, it has
You
the
know
word motion
how-
in it. Is
You
it
know
like
how your heart,
energetic
your heart
motion?
rate, your heart frequency, like your heart has a frequency,
Yeah.
right? And where the coronavirus was there, they said that you need to be 6 meters apart, right? Actually, the heart frequency is 6 meters. You have to be close to someone within 6 meters to have that heart frequency. So whenever you're close to people, always be close. Be close, because they have that heart frequency that you feel too, and that energy. That's how I see the energy.
That's
But also, you can feel that energy
amazing.
here too. We could be miles apart, and I still feel that energy. So it's
Yeah, that's true. It's like magic.
cool.
yeah.
What do you think, Ultra?
I think energy is the ability to do work. I think something has a lot of energy. Can you see? I don't know. I don't know. Like, is it? Like, I know that the scientific, like, the textbook definition is right. It's the ability for
I
something
was
to.
just gonna look. What's the definition? Like,
I
based
think
on,
of it
like,
as life force. I'd
Newton's
call it
law.
life force because instead of just energy, I think that's
I mean,
life
is it
force is a type
energy
of
the
energy. But
like, for example, the ability to raise the temperature of water? Like, you have kilojoules, calories, Like on food, they say there's energy in the food, right? And the energy is calories. Like, it always like
But
when
that's
people.
not technically
That's
true.
not the same
That's
thing.
true,
Your,
That's
though.
it's your
energy.
body.
That is
I
true.
mean,
That,
It's
but
energy.
Well, your-
that's also energy that you get from the sun. You get
Yeah, your
energy.
body
Yeah.
burns
Energy
that
from
food and
anywhere.
creates
Creates
energy from the
energy.
food.
And energy is the
That's
ability
why
to
it's so
do work.
important what you put into you, not just mentally, but like,
Yeah.
the people
They're
who
all
are around you.
connected. It's all connected.
Yeah,
Why-
and
so
food,
why is this like we're
alcohol,
separate?
like those kinds of things.
So if it's all connected, why is there this illusion of separation?
I
that-
don't know.
What do you mean?
I don't
like
know.
Because
that.
we
Like-
overthink things. That's why.
Like, don't you feel like you're separate and you're like an autonomous agent in the world?
Don't think about it too much.
Can I make
Right.
a comment?
We're
And
all-
I'm
we're
not
all
sure about
unique.
this, and
We're all
it's just
different.
something that came up. Do you think energy is different between males and females? Like, not to
ability
be
to do work?
not to be nasty about it.
Yeah, but what do you mean
do you think
by
that males
energy?
like focus on it different?
Like, I think
Like
so,
in a
man.
relationship between a male and female, or like just living as
Just
a
general
female?
energy.
Yeah.
Just
general
base
think it's
base
different.
standards, like
we're all
absolute base
different.
standard.
I think we're different, but we're
Like
equal.
every one of us. Yeah.
Like I think, bro, like
Is
what
that-
you mean is like, for example, you have to look at hormones, right? And you kind of like, for example, testosterone,
don't.
right? Testosterone, bro, if you actually look at the way it works, testosterone is actually interlinked with dopamine, right? So for example, high levels of dopamine in the brain will trigger your kind of like this, it's not supposed to happen, right? But it'll trigger this response where your levels of testosterone will elevate. And if you look at testosterone, the male hormone, right? We're supposed to go out and do stuff, and like, women have estrogen, and that makes you, you wanna sit down and connect. Like, do you understand what I'm saying? I feel like I can't speak
No,
on
definitely.
this.
Estrogen and testosterone are super different.
Yeah, and I think like
I'm not trying to change
we're
the
important.
conversation
Even between
to like
between the
male
sex,
female.
like,
I'm just
within
thinking
the
from an energy
female,
point.
We're all
uh,
different, yeah.
I
Yeah.
think women like really rule the world. They already rule the
we
world.
try.
Yeah. You guys are doing a wonderful job, honestly.
Well, thank you guys so much for doing this. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. That was really fun. I love making noise.
Me too.
I'm so excited.
I'll come back
to,
in
like,
VR.
start
We'll do the
looping and
drums. That'll be
stuff.
fun.
Yo.
Yeah, the maze is
let's
awesome
go.
in there too. Like, it's just fun. But there's also crystals in there, and I think you guys have seen.
Yeah, the maze
It's
is
fun.
is amazing. Yo, we
But
should
thank you
like
guys
have
so
like a
much. I'm gonna close down my
meditation
stream.
like in the maze. I think next week. That would be really
Yeah,
fun.
I think I'll lower the maze so we could just like walk through it, everyone in 2D, so that no one gets stuck. And then we can enjoy the, just the center part of it.
Well, thank you, Ollie, so much. That was incredible. Really
Yeah,
fun.
thanks, Oli.
Yeah, really thank you.
No problem.
It's always amazing hearing
Thank you guys. Everybody have a great Sunday. This is my favorite day. I'm gonna go rest,
All right,
go
guys.
hang out with family.
Take care, everybody.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Happy next week, by the way. This is VR week. This is Apple news. Loads of stuff coming out about VR.
Yeah, get ready, everyone.
It's gonna be massive.
Crazy stuff.
Let's go.
happening.
Hey.
That is cool.
Yeah. So.
Yay!
Love you, viewers. Have a great night.
All right, thank you for watching the stream. Please join us next Sunday. I'm going to be streaming on Wednesday, just guitar stuff. So, hope to see you guys. Thank you for joining us. Join us in VR, somniumspace.com. Bye-bye. Oh, yeah.
Peace, guys. Have a great night.
Catch you later, man. Bye bye. How did you get up there?